Hey y'all, so we're back today with day 3 of 31 days of devotion. So we're gonna jump right into December 3rd's Devo, which is titled Walking Away from Trouble. We're gonna jump right into it. It says, your disappointment can come from many different directions. It can come from a series of bad choices you made, or maybe you're feeling as though nothing you do in this life really matters. Whatever the cause, you need to let go of the past and embrace the future with hope. Your wrongs can be made right. If you've been moving in the wrong direction, you can move in the right one. I will help you if you let me. You need to walk out of the trouble by walking towards me. It will take time, but I am the great Redeemer, the one who makes all things new. There is nothing I can't do, so it's vital that you trust me so that I can help you. Without me, you can do nothing. Don't be distracted by feelings of discouragement and doubt. Stand firm in your faith, believing against all odds that help is on the way and you can have hope. Don't look back at all that has fallen to pieces, but keep your eyes on me, the one who is building your future on a firm foundation. If what you're going through is overwhelming, too much for you to endure, you're in the perfect place for a miracle. Keep seeking my face, listen carefully to my voice, and let me lead you to righteousness. Keep seeking my face, listen carefully to my voice, and let me lead you into righteousness. And today's Bible verse is Proverbs 4:25, which says, look straight ahead and fix your eyes on what lies before you. Ooh. So let's get into the study Bible. Study Bible is summing up verses 23 through 27, but remember we're in 25. And it states that our hearts, our feelings of love and desire dictate to a great extent how we will live, because we always find time to do what we enjoy. Solomon tells us to guard our hearts above all else, making sure we concentrate on the desires that will keep us on the right path. Make sure your affections push you in the right directions. Put boundaries on your desires. Don't go after everything you see. Look straight ahead, keep your eyes fixed on your goal, and don't get sidetracked on detours that lead to sin. And I'm just going to read the bottom, which is chapter 5, verses 3 to 8, because I feel like it's needed for today, especially with me. It says, we should be on guard against those who use flattery and smooth talk. This is what is meant by lips that drip honey, who may lead us or others into sin. Take a detour to avoid conversations with such people if possible. And to sum that up, or to get into this, I want to be transparent and get into a topic that I just had with God. I was voicing to God that a lot of men has been approaching me this year and have been trying to court me or get to know me, and I told him it was a bit frustrating because all of these men are coming to me and none of them are in the standard of what I know God has for me. And some of them, I'm gonna be very honest, some of them made it very hard to not settle. And though I didn't settle, not settling still came with hurt feelings and disappointment, because I have this thing in my face and I have a desire in my heart, but it's not what is the perfect will that God has for me. And honestly, that is hurtful, and it has been hurtful, but it also has pushed me towards God even more, to the point where I feel hurt or brokenhearted, I'm able to cast my cares to him. I'm actually able to tell him how I feel, and knowing that God is not breaking my heart but mending it together. And I don't think of it as a test. I think of it as, why would I settle less than God's best? And all of these distractions and smooth talkers and everything will come about, but if they're not showcasing the fruits of what God has been showing me in my life currently, I can't speak for the future, but I know what me and God has spoke about that led up to this day. And if anybody comes into your life, they should at least match where you are or push you towards greater. And another thing is, when it comes to relationships are meant to be for a purpose, and it's meant to be done in God's will. It is not meant for self-righteousness and the simple fact of saying or looking like you're in a good relationship. It is meant to reach people and meant to, I don't want to say it, but it's meant to be, you're meant to be fruitful, to multiply. You're meant to be fruitful and multiply and continue to make children of God. And that is on the inside of your family base and on those on the outside, that you guys will both reach together. And you also have to be able to push each other towards God himself in a relationship. So a relationship that is not founded on Christ himself is not a relationship worth having. And time again, I'm finding myself putting down my will and my desires for a moment because I don't want to settle in and be hurt. So yeah, so I got cut off, but that's just the sum of it, is making the right choices in what you know now. So when you go into a life with God, we were used to making wrong choices that led us to disappointment. So if I'm having to follow and trust God with everything in my life, such as relationships, careers, from the little details of my daily life, I have to be willing to take the step in the right direction with him. And it does come with disappointment, but it says to walk away from trouble and to embrace the future. So by doing so, it says that you will need to walk out of the trouble by walking towards me. It will take time, but I am the great Redeemer, the one who makes all things new. It's vital that you trust me so that I can help you, and to not be distracted by feelings of discouragement and doubt. And walking away from trouble looks like walking away from the voices and the feelings of the discouragement and doubts, of fears that comes up against you to make you feel like you should settle in anything in your life. And none of that comes from God. So if you're walking in accordance with God, you're trusting his timing, because he knows best and when to bring about a perfect thing in anything, from family restoration to anything that you've been praying for, mental clarity, anything that it is, that you are trusting him to do it, and that you're taking a step down from being the God over your life and making the choices that you have been making that hasn't worked for you and now has gotten you to a point of surrender to God. You have to fully trust in him, even when times are showing that, man, if I probably would have did it myself, I would have been at least at a certain place by now. But why settle for less than God's best? So today's devotional, I feel like, was straight to the point and very simple. Walking away from trouble. I personally feel like it is walking away from the choices that we can make with in our feelings that lead us to trouble, or the choices that we make that it's just not in God's best for us. And he is a perfect father and he does care for us. So walking with him and leaning more on him and looking at him and seeking him will change the desires of our hearts from within, and it will overflow and showcase on the outside of everything that we have. It may take more time, like it said, it will take time, but it's because he is working out the kinks out of us that we ourselves wouldn't have been able to see, because we overlooked it for so long. And he has to pour out all the bad to pour in the good. So that was today's devotional of day 3 of 31 days of devotion. Thank y'all for tuning in, and have a good one.